Hey, listener.
Holy cannoli, it's recording. Okay. Hello, listener.
I'm Jen.
I am Brooke, and we
And
are
welcome.
awkward.
We're very awkward. We've never done this before, if you can't tell.
No, noobs, if you will.
Yeah, but here we are, doing the traditional, quarter life crisis, white person kind of deal.
Yep, podcasting is what they call it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about movies because, I don't know.
Well, we're in a self-quarantine, self-isolation in the world right now, so really movies are what you can do.
Yeah, so we found the Rotten Tomatoes list of the 200 essential movies that everyone should watch, and we're going to be working our way through that.
We started from the bottom.
Now we're here.
Yes, we are.
And the number 200 movie is Frida, a movie neither of us have seen before.
And confession to make. I didn't know anything about this movie or this human until tonight, so it really was a roller coaster for me.
Which is kind of weird because Frida seems like your kind of lady.
Yeah, I was really into her, and I'm disappointed in myself. Yep.
I knew she existed, and I'd seen some of her paintings, and I knew about her famous eyebrow, but other than that, I really had no knowledge of her tumultuous life.
Yes. Maybe you want to give a synopsis of what this movie is?
I sure can. Frida is a 2002 American biographical drama film directed by Julie Taymor. It depicts the professional and private life of the surrealist Mexican artist Frida Kahlo.
Yep, that sounds right. I'm going to be honest, I don't find myself surprised to learn that it was a female director.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I feel like this film was excellent, and women are excellent, so...
Yeah, it definitely showed Frida as being a very strong woman, especially given that she was born in 1907, so wearing suits and drinking lots and being an artist and sleeping with lots of women wasn't something that was normally seen in the early 1900s, at least not that we know of.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, it's not like they had things like they have today, right?
No.
We would not be aware. But I like to think that she was just ahead of her time.
She was very much ahead of her time. And I guess...
Go ahead. This is going to be...
We're going to be stumbling our way through this, so if anybody listens to this and you have comments, let us know. Yeah, we're just kind of winging it, to be honest.
But what were you going to say, Jen? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I was just going to see if we wanted to start talking about the movie, or was there anything you wanted to say?
I would like to start off with the first scene, and that magnificent peacock.
Oh, her beautiful house and all of the animals.
Man, what? Really, though? No words. Just like a zoo?
Yeah,
and
she
also
basically...
a rainforest.
Yeah, she had her own zoo and a lot of very cute monkeys.
Adorable monkeys. And I don't know. Birds? She had a lot of birds. There were like 3 birds in several scenes.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll admit, I'm not the smartest person on earth, but are there monkeys in Mexico?
There must be. I'm not sure.
There must be. Yeah, I don't...
I'm gonna have to Google that later. Fact check.
Yeah.
The state of monkeys in Mexico. If there aren't, I'm glad that Frida was keeping them alive.
Yes.
You go.
And the movie starts in 1922, so she would have been about...
15?
15?
Yeah, that starts.
Yeah, which makes sense because I think she's in school, and she's seen running around with her schoolmates making fun of panzones.
Yeah, and so I didn't put that together when I was watching this, and that changes things for me, because I was going to ask what happened to her early boyfriend. I know he went to California, or not California.
He went to Europe.
Yeah, Europe.
Yeah. Alejandro. Young Diego Luna.
Is that guy's last name?
I think so, the actor.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that was his name.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay. Well, she was just so in love, and I felt kind of sad and wondered if as an adult she'd reach out to him. But now that I know that she was 15, I think that clears it up.
Yeah, I think it's okay. He went to Europe and she moved on with her life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that she really moved on, because she then was in a horrific trolley accident.
Yep. And didn't have much of a choice, in fact.
Yeah. Like I said, I knew Frida Kahlo existed, but I had no idea of her traumatic life that began by being in a bus accident where a pole literally went through her.
Went through her vagina.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then they weren't sure if she was going to be able to walk again.
They were pretty sure she wasn't, and then she did.
Yeah, because her sweet father paid for all those surgeries.
Right, and that first scene, when she stepped out of that wheelchair and walked to her parents to hug them, chills.
Aww.
It was very sweet. My solid, chills. I don't know.
Look, for all you listeners, if you didn't know Brooke ahead of time, she doesn't have feelings often.
Mm-mm.
And that touched on them.
Yeah, hard. A hard touch.
Oh my gosh. And then, do you remember when that one guy was saying he eats ladies and they were talking about human tacos?
How could I forget? I wasn't into it. Wouldn't do it for me.
No, you said that wasn't the way to your heart.
No, but I feel like it might be the way to your heart.
I do love a good taco.
You do. And I feel that you wouldn't be offended being compared to one.
Not at all.
That is a great lead-in to the next thing I would like to talk about. Apparently, in the early 1900s, men just couldn't do anything themselves at all.
I just went on talking about how sweet her dad was.
Very sweet, but...
Can't dress himself.
Or, can't take his own apron off, can't roll down his sleeves.
No, Frida has to do that for him.
So, no wonder he paid for her medical bills.
He owed her. All those years of her having to dress him.
Yeah.
And then we kind of flash forward a little while, and that's where she meets Diego Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
Rivera.
I was going with Rivera.
But
I could be wrong.
I could be too, because I literally didn't know this human existed either.
Nope, me either.
But apparently he's kind of a big deal.
Apparently so, and both artistically and politically.
Yes.
In a couple different countries.
The communist Diego Rivera, a.k.a. Panzón, a.k.a. Potbelly.
Very apt nickname.
Yeah. I would maybe add Potbelly Pig, because he's a bit of a man whore.
Uh-huh. Which, I mean, no judgment, but...
A little bit of judgment.
Some judgment, yeah. Alright, our introduction to him is him painting a naked woman, and then his wife comes and fights with him about it.
Lupe,
that's right, she did have a name.
She did. She does.
Yeah, well, she's probably dead now. She was 40 in 1907, so... Lupe screams at him and throws a basket of fruit because he's sleeping with the naked model that he's painting.
Yeah. He seems to sleep with every model.
Yeah, which he's upfront about. He's not hiding, but...
That's true.
Still.
We don't know how long he was upfront about it. He did have 2 wives before Frida.
It's true. So he and Frida get married.
Yeah.
Yep. We spoiled that. We weren't there yet. A little out of order.
Well, it's based on a true story. It's not like it's really a spoiler alert. You can just Google it.
It's a good point. Actually historical.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not spoiling something that happened 100 years ago.
Yeah, if you're like me and you don't know anything about history most of the time. Spoiler. Yeah, so he and Frida get married. She mentors him artistically.
But before they get married, they have that great party with the sexy tango.
Oh, the sexy tango. Mm-hmm.
You can't forget your favorite scene.
Definitely my favorite scene. I don't even have words. That's what happened right there.
Well, the scene starts with Diego and another man having a drinking contest to see who can dance with this very attractive lady.
Oh, yeah. It was on Antonio Banderas' character.
Yeah.
Whose name I don't know that we ever learned.
No, he doesn't have a huge role.
No, just that. And then he He came with the real, because he was like, rich people don't have good taste. They just pay someone to have good taste for them.
Yeah, I wrote that down too.
That
was a great line.
It's a really good line.
And he also says he'd rather have an intelligent enemy over a stupid friend.
That's another good one. I don't know that I agree, but I would rather have no enemies. And probably no friends, really, than a stupid friend, I guess.
Yes, and then Frida swoops in, and she ends up drinking the most from the bottle, so she wins the dance with the sexy lady. And they do a very sexy dance.
They do a very sexy tango. And when she swoops in and wins that alcohol chugging contest, also very sexy. The BDE.
Yes. We do appreciate a woman that can hold her drink.
If those of us who know us, yeah, you're going to know that.
Yes, because we're literally drinking right now.
Yes. That's the other piece of this. We do drink.
A lot. Kind of.
More now. Liquid courage.
And now that we're in the quarantines and there are no rules.
We need all our quarantinis.
Yes. And then, after the sexy tango dance, I think Diego's walking her home. Mm-hmm. And that's when they have the talk about, let's just be comrades. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, literally 2 seconds later, they start fucking.
Yeah. Yep. And I called it, too. I would like to claim that. Which, I guess, in hindsight, isn't calling anything, since it's historical that they were married, but...
Yeah. And I guess we don't know if they actually had that conversation in real life.
That's true. That could have just been to dramatize it and spice it up for us, which it worked. Kind of. They could have drawn it out a little longer, in my opinion, but... Yeah,
that's true. Everything kind of speeds real fast after that, because I think the next time we see them, they're getting married.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm kind of glad, I guess, because it was a 2-hour movie. So if they'd have drawn that out...
Yeah, it would have gotten old fast. Mm-hmm. But something that happens at the wedding, when Frida's mom is not liking Diego at all, for good reason.
Yeah.
Well, some good reasons. He has been married twice before, and he was an atheist.
Oh, I missed that.
Yes.
I thought it was because he was a communist.
Well, I think that was in there too. And then dear old sweet dad Guillermo chimes on in and is like, well, honey, you married me, and I'm a German Jew.
Guillermo, yep. Yes.
Guillermo the German Jew.
What a sweetie he was, though, for all his confusion about his identity.
He was. Guillermo really grew on me.
Mm-hmm, me too. And I'll be honest, Diego grew on me too.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. Until the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can we jump there, or do we need to even talk about the in-betweens?
I think we should mention the morning after the wedding, I think it was, when Diego's ex-wife Lupe makes them breakfast. Mm-hmm. That was kind of awkward.
That was super weird. So Frida comes out of the bedroom, and Diego's sitting at the table eating a delicious meal.
A delicious mole.
And has a plate ready for her. And she compliments him because she's like, wow, I didn't know you could cook. And turns out he can't.
It's just so convenient that his ex-wife lives upstairs with his kids.
Mm-hmm. And brings them breakfast, post-wedding breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, is mole a breakfast meal?
I think mole can be whenever. I kind of feel that way about all Mexican food.
I'm inclined to agree, but I feel like my stomach would be real upset if I ate that the first thing in the morning.
You gotta train it. You gotta train your stomach to handle it all.
Mm-hmm. Sure, if you say so.
I just constantly live in a state of tummy ache, so maybe I'm just used to it.
Yeah, what a way to live.
It really is. And then, I don't know, he cheats on her at some point?
Well, several times, but she knew he would. She just wanted him to be loyal. Yeah.
They had a talk before their marriage. And Diego did admit up front that he couldn't be faithful. Mm-hmm. Which is like, come on, dude.
Yeah, like, hey, marry me, but please no, I will sleep with other people constantly.
So they were either very modern and in an open relationship, but I don't think that's the case because Frida's feelings were hurt, given how many times she called Diego puta.
Yeah, yeah. Then again,
Literally have that underlined on my notes. Diego puta.
but in her defense, her term of endearment for him was literally panzon. So,
true. Yeah. Yeah.
For all we know, that could have been another term of endearment for her.
Puta panzon.
I guess then after they're married, it's just kind of like, oh, I suppose an important thing to mention is that for all of his flaws, Diego was consistently supportive of her art the whole time.
Yeah, and he was loyal. He was always there for her when she needed it.
It's true. Yeah, that's true. Through her back pain, through her miscarriage.
You're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead.
I'm not good at this part.
We're not in Gringolandia yet.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we're headed next.
That's where we're headed next.
Yes. In 1929, the Museum of Modern Art opens in New York City, and Diego Rivera is commissioned to paint murals, or they're showing his art or something. So they go to Gringolandia.
What a great name.
It really is.
Excellent
White
job,
people land.
Frida, because that is what it is.
Yeah. And
New York City, baby.
They spend, 2 or 3 years there. Throughout this movie, they're not very clear about the timeline. I had to Google a lot of dates just to try to figure out where we were. And yeah, so they spend about 2 or 3 years there, and it's tumultuous, and I don't think Frida really enjoys her time there.
No, she doesn't. And I think part of it was because her art wasn't advancing, and his career was. Yeah, they don't explicitly state that.
No, but I think it's implied. She's never really happy there.
Right. And they have this pretty hilarious scene where he's just going through this revolving door with a new woman each time.
Ugh, and yes.
But then they show us Frida coming through the revolving door with a woman, and it is confirmed that she is also just sleeping with all the women.
Yes. So towards the beginning of the movie, Brooke was for certain that Frida was gay. And I was like, well, maybe.
Yeah. It was the suit.
And then we saw her sleeping with her first boyfriend, Alex, and that we're like, nope, not full-on lesbian.
Mm-mm.
But then in New York, it's confirmed, oh, she's definitely bi.
Mm-hmm. Swinging whatever way she wants.
Yes, you go, Frida.
You get it, girl.
Get it.
Mm-hmm. Power to you. I support you. I want to be you. Yeah.
Yeah, and now we'll take a hard left turn and go to the miscarriage.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that happened.
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, she was involved in a horrific accident.
Her body, she was able to walk again, but her body didn't really totally recover, right? Like, she's in pain all the time. Her back hurts, her legs hurt. She has to see the doctor regularly.
Yeah, medicine wasn't the best in the early 20th century. They did what they could. They got her walking again, but not 100.
Not 100.
And she does end up pregnant, and she's very excited, but then it doesn't happen.
Mm-mm.
And that was a pretty rough scene. I don't know if I want to describe it.
No, I don't think we should. She painted about it. Go look up her painting.
Yeah. You guys, you look at that yourselves.
Mm-hmm. Dark, very sad and powerful and moving. I felt it. I felt for her.
Yeah. That was very sad. And now, I don't know, we'll make another hard left to communism.
Yeah.
Where we see little baby Edward Norton as Nelson Rockefeller.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
That's what his name was. I was like, I know this guy. But I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah. Little baby Ed Norton is playing Nelson Rockefeller, and they're commissioning Diego to paint a mural in the Rockefeller Center.
Mm-hmm. And everyone knows that Diego's a communist, and they've seen his work, which is very heavily supportive of communist leaders in the world. Specifically, was it Stalin or
Lenin?
Lenin.
Yeah, he wants to paint Lenin.
Yeah, and he does, right on the wall.
Yeah.
Do we know what the building was?
It's the Rockefeller Center.
Oh, shit, See, my brain is 11 out of 10 all the time.
Yeah, and I guess again, bad with the history. Sorry, guys. I don't know Nelson Rockefeller's dad's name. Mr. Rockefeller, Papa Rockefeller.
Senior Rockefeller.
He's not happy with the mural at all.
Mm-mm. And neither is the media or the gringos. None of them.
Yeah, because Frida and Diego were supposed to go on to Chicago and LA.
Detroit?
Or Detroit, yeah. And do
Detroit.
war paintings. Mm-hmm. But then those get canceled and they tear down his mural in the Rockefeller Center.
Yep, which, like, on one hand, good for you, Diego, for sticking up for yourself, I guess, and your beliefs.
Yeah, not selling out.
Yep, but they definitely said, nope, goodbye.
Yeah, so things aren't going well in the Rivera household.
And when they're in New York, her mom is sick.
Yes.
So they leave. Well, she leaves. Did Diego go with her? No.
I think so.
No. Because she was hugging her dad at the funeral and Diego wasn't there.
Oh, yeah. That maybe was around 8 o'clock when there was a lot of howling outside my house.
And yes, she means humans.
Yes. As we mentioned before, this is being filmed smack dab in the middle of the quarantines. So every night at 8 o'clock here, people are shouting outside their house, showing support for the healthcare workers, which is very nice. But when your windows are open, it can be very loud when you're trying to watch a movie.
And it's not
that I'm complaining.
It's not standard shouting. It's not like, woohoo! It's like werewolf howling.
They are literally howling at the moon, which then gets the dogs howling, and it goes on for like 15 minutes. So I feel like I missed some stuff at that time.
Yeah. So they go back to her parents' house.
Mexico City.
Yep. And her mom's really sick, and then her mom dies.
In 1932.
So that's where we are. We're in 1932. It's good to know.
Yes. And then shortly after the funeral, we get to see their amazing houses.
Yes. Genius. The genius that goes into this. I just if I had the money, definitely.
Yes.
So you tell it.
So Frida and Diego build separate houses because they understand they are both individuals and they want their own space. And then they connected the houses with a bridge, which is just tremendous thinking. Because I guess I didn't write down the exact quote that Frida says, but she said the reason they did the separate houses was because they are two separate people. And then when they are together, they are one and in love.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And real smart.
Exactly.
And also the architecture of these houses was beautiful. I liked it a lot.
They were so open and you could walk on the roof.
A lot of windows.
So nice. So many windows and so many animals.
Yeah. They had their own zoo, basically.
Yeah. And then the big sad happens.
The big sad. The biggest disappointment of the movie. And this was a very sad and disappointing movie.
The quote I wrote down was, Diego is a sister fucker.
And she said it best.
Yeah, so Frida Kahlo had a sister.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yes. She didn't just pick one up off the street.
And she was a really great sister, super supportive, there for her when her back was broken and she couldn't walk.
And she had children, which then allowed Frida to be an auntie, which is, I guess, the next best thing to being a mom.
Yeah, I guess. But she was with said children, I'm assuming at a park, and they were coming home.
Yeah.
And they walked into the house, and Diego was sleeping with the sister. Does the sister have a name?
Christy, she does. Yeah, something with a C.
I think we'll go with Christy. Christy and Diego were shagging, I guess.
Yep, just balls deep, right there in the open. Because as we mentioned, these were very open houses.
Yes, yep. And Frida's whole thing was you can sleep with whoever you want, but you have to be loyal, and that broke the loyalty. Yeah, sister fucking is not really cool. Very unloyal, one might say.
But again, Frida's dad swoops in, being so supportive.
He does?
Yes, he, comforts her because she's sad. Well, that's what I wrote. Frida's dad is the best. Then, dash underneath, so supportive.
I don't have anything written about it. So...
Because she's talking to her dad after it all happens, and she's going on about he was never mine.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think he brings up again, so what are you going to do? Because remember at the beginning of the movie when she's laying in her bed after the accident and she brings up, Dad, you used to ask me all the time, what are my plans? What am I going to do?
That's right. That was a cute callback. You're right.
And then she just paints out her feelings. And I wrote down, I mentioned all these little cut scenes that were really cool that looked like cartoonish-y, where the paintings come to life to kind of describe the feelings that are going on without any dialogue. I really liked those.
They were really cool and very creative.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure if they were stop motion, but they kind of had that feel.
Some of them did, yeah. And they definitely made me feel
feelings.
They maybe didn't make me feel what she was feeling, but they made me empathize. I don't know. They depicted it well.
Way. Yeah, it was a good way of getting deeper.
I liked it. It was very well done.
It was.
So as you can imagine, she was feeling the big sad.
Yes, yeah, as one would if you found out your partner was fucking your sibling. Unless you're open to that. No judgment.
No judgment. Frida was not.
No. And then I think they have some time apart, and then Mr. Diego swoops back in again, saying, hey, Leon Trotsky's coming to town.
I need your help.
We've got to hide him.
Yeah, and we're going to do it at your parents' house. And we're going to be married and living in this house. Yeah,
because in my Googling of trying to figure out these dates, I did find out that in 1929, Diego and Frida did divorce, but then in 1930, they got remarried again.
Okay, so when Trotsky... I
don't know if that...
It's between 23 and 29.
I guess, but then that doesn't really follow up with the timeline, because in the graveyard on the headstone, it said her mom died in 1932. So there's some funny business going on.
Sounds like the movie made some drama happen for us.
Yes, some cinematic liberties were taken on this timeline.
All right, that's fine.
But that doesn't really matter.
No, I'll let him have that because, honestly, her mom was boring anyway.
She didn't really play a major part.
No. So yeah, Trotsky comes.
Yeah, and then we get that badass scene where... somebody tries shooting up the place, and then Frida Kahlo swoops in with a gun.
And is like...
back the fuck down, bitches.
Yep. And they did. They left.
Yeah. And then we find out those intruders were her great aunts, her mom's sisters.
And they were just sprinkling some holy water?
Yeah, because they consider Leon Trotsky the Antichrist.
Yep. Which, I guess, for them, isn't unfair.
Yeah. Very, very Catholic.
So then we also have this scene where they go to the pyramids, or
I don't know
Mayan
if they were
ruins.
Mayan ruins, Aztec ruins,
some ruins in Mexico.
Yeah, and she's just all willy-nilly climbing up them
with Trotsky.
Yeah,
so it was a slow climb.
Yeah. Despite her injury, she's still climbed up them somehow. Very impressive, I guess.
I guess. And it was up there where she said my favorite quote of the whole movie.
Oh, yes, I wrote that down, too.
Did you? Yeah, she said, well, because he asked her about her accident, and he asked her, how she does it, and how she is, and, the normal questions. And she says, at the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can.
Which seems very fitting for the times we're in right now.
Yes, so hold on to that. Thought that was really powerful, and I was like, that's the most Frida thing she said all movie. Because despite everything that's happening to her, one key theme throughout this whole movie is Frida's just really living her life.
She is. Despite everything she's been through, she is still just doing whatever the fuck she wants.
And she's not giving up, and she's just painting her feelings away.
Yeah. Well, we're just here drinking and talking our feelings away.
Yep. It's the same level.
Oh, totally.
Everyone copes differently.
Yeah, and then I think it's in that same scene or a little after where we kind of learn that all of Leon's children were murdered.
Yeah, it was the same scene.
Yeah.
in jail because of him.
Yep.
And who he is.
And yeah, I just kind of wrote Stalin sucks.
And again, Jen said it best.
Yeah, and then things get gross.
A little weird. Again, no judgment.
A little. I have judgment here. Because Leon fled to Mexico with his wife Natalia and then goes and sleeps with Frida, and I am holding some judgment on Frida because she knows exactly how it feels to be cheated on.
That's true.
And now she's doing the same to Natalia.
I did wonder about why there was no talk about Natalia and her feelings.
Yeah, because she was clearly upset about it because they left Frida's house.
They did, and she wouldn't even look Frida in the eye when she was leaving.
So I've got some judgment there. Mm-hmm. That was not a cool move, Frida. I'm all for, having sex with who you want, but maybe not married guys, unless it's established that it's open.
Right, which it for sure was not established.
No, Natalia was not cool with that. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just looking at my notes, and the next line I have after this was, Diego's making this all about himself again.
Yeah, yep, he got mad. And he says to her, Frida, you've really broken my heart here. Like, the audacity.
It's like, Diego, you literally had no part in any of this.
Mm-mm. And also, what? Talk about a hypocrite.
Yeah, and she does call him out on that.
Mm-hmm. It's true. They have a big fight.
Yes. And then she goes to Paris?
Yeah, and it kind of seems like she lives her best life in Paris.
Yeah, she sleeps with all the ladies.
Mm-hmm. And does all the art, and has her own shows.
Yeah, but then still writes that dumb letter to Diego.
It's freaking Diego. And how none of it's the same without him, and she just feels like her life sucks without him, and...
Yes. Ugh. So then she goes back to him.
Is this when they get a divorce, I think?
Yeah, because she goes back and they talk, and Diego says he's going to California and he wants a divorce. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, oh, is that because of that Hollywood girl you're sleeping with?
Yep. And he's like, no. I just think it's the best for us.
Yeah, and I guess that's fair because I don't know why it would be about the Hollywood girl. He's never really cared about who he's with.
No, and also, they've been living apart for how long?
A while.
We obviously don't know because there were no timelines, but...
Yeah, I'd guess at least 5 years probably. Mm-hmm. Maybe more.
So, divorce seems to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then I guess I don't know if they go through with it or not, but he leaves, obviously.
They do, because later they get remarried.
Oh, yeah, so maybe that's just when they started fudging the dates about their marriage in the movie. Because in real life, they got divorced in 1929 and remarried in 1930.
Oh, sure. Those were the cinematic liberties taken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then Frida gets arrested.
Yeah, because of him.
Yeah. The cops are asking her a bunch of questions about where Diego is, and she's all locked up and not speaking. I guess this is probably around the times when everyone was like, communism and McCarthyism and...
Yeah, those times,
Yeah, people weren't cool with communism. Mm-hmm. Diego gets her out of prison somehow, and Frida forgives her sister at that same time, which is nice.
It is true, and I think what she said, which basically was like, it's not your fault, it's my fault for putting you in the same room as him, is fair.
I don't think it's Frida's fault. I don't think it's Christy, whatever her name is, his fault. I put it all on Diego and him not being able to control his penis.
Well, yeah, obviously that's true. I just think that Frida knew that about him, and Christy didn't.
But you still shouldn't sleep with your sister's husband.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, I think everything kind of moves pretty quickly after that. It's just her health declining.
She and Diego get remarried.
Yeah.
They live together again.
Yeah, so he can help take care of her because she's not really mobile anymore.
Mm-hmm. And she has a gangrenous toes, so her toes get removed, so she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and then eventually her leg below the knee gets removed.
And her kidneys start to fail.
Yeah, she does drink a lot. And she's in that brace, the back brace.
Yeah. So pretty much after that, it was just a lot of sad hospital dark things.
Yeah, she was bedridden. She was still drinking and smoking and painting, though. She wasn't letting it stop her.
No, she was going to live her life.
And she did.
Yeah, so then it ends where it started, which was her being carried around in her bed.
Yeah, which I did write, like, please carry me around in bed. That is my preferred mode of transportation.
Yeah, agree. Definitely agree. And she makes it to her first and only art exhibition in her home city of
Well, we don't know if it was her only art expedition, but it was the only one she made it to.
Yeah, because she goes there, and then she and Diego have a talk, I guess, about how it's almost their 25th year anniversary, and she gives him a ring, and that kind of ends there. She dies.
Very good movie.
Yeah, excellent. I would rate it 11 out of 10. Much darker and much deeper than the movies that we are used to watching together, though.
That's true. A lot more feels were had.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for an example, for you, singular listener,
we're not expecting any more than one person to listen to this.
So, we've been watching the Bill and Ted movies, which are most excellent, I might add.
Yes. Is that how we should end our podcasts? Is just be excellent to each other?
Absolutely.
All right. You guys heard it here first.
If you can edit in air guitar sounds, would also be good.
It'll just be that.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And we've watched, like, Robin Hood Men in Tights and Monty
What We Do in the
Python.
Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows. So, like, not serious movies at all. No feelings. No deep.
Although there were some feelings in Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, yeah, we did watch Jojo Rabbit. And it did have feelings, and I did feel them.
But it was the most excellent of movies.
So this was quite the adventure for us.
This has been a whole lot of adventure today.
First podcast, first review, which goes with first podcast, so it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
First movie with the deepest of feels. First 2-hour movie.
I don't know if that's true.
No?
No, there were some that were longer. I can't remember everything we've watched.
I can't either. We've been doing this for a bit now.
Yeah. All started with Tusk.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
If you guys haven't seen the movie Tusk, you need to do that right away. It's on Netflix. Go stream it and your life will be changed. Not necessarily for the better,
but changed.
Yeah.
And what better time to do that than during a quarantine?
Yeah, stay the fuck home and watch Tusk.
Yeah. Should we end it there?
Well, we can announce next week's movie.
Oh, yes, because we have a list.
We do, yes. If you didn't pay attention at the beginning, we are doing the Rotten Tomatoes list of 200 essential movies. And next week is Black Hawk Down. That is number 199.
That'll be fun for us to review. Yeah.
Also, a huge departure from what we're used to watching. And I don't think I've seen that movie since it came out. And I was like maybe 10 at the time. So it's been a while.
I was really into movies like that for a period of time when I was an angsty teen.
Yeah. I go through war movie phases too.
Yeah, so I've seen it, like, I don't know, within the last probably at least 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but it'll be a good time.
I cannot wait. I am already dying of anticipation and nerves.
Well, yeah. I don't know. What else is there to say? Be excellent to each other, guys.
Seriously. Especially...
And if you do listen to this, do give us feedback, because we really have no idea what we're doing.
Oh, we should do a plug. Social media plug.
Oh, yeah. Follow us on Instagram. Cardboard Empire. We don't have a Twitter.
No.
Someone took it. But we'll figure it out.
That's also what we go by, which I don't know
Yeah.
that we mentioned at the beginning.
No, we are Cardboard Empire. I'm Jen.
I am Brooke.
Follow us on Instagram.
Give us feedback.
Yeah. Or
Probably there.
Yeah. It can be good or bad, you know.
I love verbal abuse. So
Brooke gets off on it. I might cry a little, but I'll be okay.
I'll talk her down. It's fine. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Be excellent to each other. Bye.